Hi, I'm James. Today we're going to be cooking a sprout gratin. So these series of videos are all around Christmas meals, so Christmas hampers, festive feasts, but everything can be used throughout the year. So obviously the key ingredient today is sprouts. Lots of people don't like them. They are really just mini cabbages. They're treated well, they're delicious. So we first started doing this at my house for Christmas when my family come round, and it was one of the things that everybody, oh, we don't like sprouts, what can we do? Can we do something different to make them tasty? And now it's become a real staple. So all you need for it is some bacon, some sprouts, some breadcrumbs, some cream, an onion, some garlic, a little bit of thyme. This isn't necessary, but if you've got some nuts. We've got walnuts, but you could use chestnuts, anything, and some grana padano. So the first job, before we do anything, we're going to get some water on, bring it up to the boil, and season it. So as the sprouts cook, the salt penetrates them, and they get seasoned along the way. So we're going to put them in now, and all we want to do is part cook them. So it's about 4 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes, just till they're al dente or just part cooked, and then we'll take them to the sink, drain them off, and then run them under a cold tap just until they're cool. So we'll place these in now, and then we'll start our 4-minute timer. We've boiled our sprouts for 4 minutes, and then we've drained them off, and they're just cooling in the sink now. So next up, what we need to do is take our bacon. You can use any bacon for this. This is streaky bacon that's been chopped up. The pancetta's equally nice. And into a pan, all we're going to do with that is slowly render the fat and cook it till it's golden brown. So these are looking golden brown now, so we'll just turn that down, just keep it on low while we quickly slice up our onion and our garlic. So just take the top off, and all we need to do is peel the outside layer. It's tough. Keep the tip on so the onion holds together when we're cutting it, otherwise you just get loads of little bits flying everywhere. So you keep that little root on there. If you look at the onion, it's just got lines all the way down it. We'll just follow them lines with a knife all the way across. Same on this one. And then we can just go in this way 3 times, 4 if it's a large onion, and then we just go straight down. And we'll get a lovely, perfect little dice. Garlic, just smash it with the back of your knife, take the base off, the thick root, and same again, we're just going to finely slice it. But for me, I personally like to have it really quite fine, so chop across one way, turn it around, and then we'll just go back through it again. And all we need to do with this is add it to our pan, which as I said has been turned down, so it's on a lower heat now. So on your stove, probably about gas mark 3 or on electric stove, sorry, 3, the number 3. And then we're just going to cook it down. We don't want really any more colour on the bacon. We're just going to soften the onions until they go translucent in the garlic. So it'll take a couple of minutes, maybe 3 minutes, but just gently cook them down. If you cook them too high, they'll go really dark brown. It doesn't look very nice going through the cream, and that's not the flavour we want from the onions either. So we've cooked these onions and garlic down now for around 4 minutes. So they've gone translucent, they're really soft, but there is no colour on them, so that's perfect. We've got our sprouts here. So we add these now at this stage, so they're going to get all that lovely bacon fat coating them. And obviously the bacon's really salty anyway, so we probably only need a few turns of salt, but we will put in at this stage a nice amount of pepper. it's really important to season as you go, so you build up flavours rather than just finishing a dish and at the end just trying to put a load of salt or pepper over the top. We want to really penetrate this sprouts with some flavour now, otherwise it will just taste quite bland. So what we'll do, for about 2 minutes or so, we're just going to gently cook these. Keep moving them around, just taking all that lovely bacon fat, all the lovely flavours. We're going to crumble in some walnuts as well. Like I said before, you can use any type of nut, really, with this, within reason. I mean, to be honest, even a peanut would work, but I think if as it's Christmas, I think walnuts, sort of chestnuts is what we're really looking for. So just a few of them crumbled in. Cook it for a couple of minutes and then we're going to add our cream. So once you're happy that you've got a lovely coating all over each one of these sprouts, on a medium heat, and then we'll be ready to add the cream. Right, so we've got a lovely coating on them sprouts now. Pan's nice and hot, so we'll add our cream. This is double cream, full fat, which is really what we need for this, because as it cooks it will reduce down really, really well and get lovely and thick. Our cheese will help with that as well. So what we're looking for with this is bringing the cheese up to the boil, the cream up to the boil, sorry. Reduce it down by 1/3, so only a touch really, just to thicken it up. And also melt the cheese through it as we do it. So we're just going to make a really thick, lovely, gooey cheese sauce to coat the sprouts. Obviously it'll take on all that salty bacon and you have the crispy nuts in there, so it'll be delicious. You can use any cheese with this. You could use a cheddar, Taleggio, Parmesan, whatever you've got to hand really. Maybe 2 or 3 different types of cheese. We've got Parmesan here, and if you've done the cooking days with Abercrombie Leisure, that will be what you have in your box, which is a lovely cheese. It's filled with umami, so it's really nice and savoury. So great, about half a block. It seems a lot, but you know it's Christmas and I don't think anyone's checking their waistline too much. And then if we just gently stir that cheese through the sauce. At this stage we can just turn that down now, just leave it to tick over for about another 1.5 minutes, just until it's lovely and thick and it really wraps around the sprouts as you sort of jostle them around. Now you can see it's just got a lovely coating on it, so it's almost like a sort of cauliflower cheese in thickness really. So you can take it down a little bit more if you want, but remember it will reduce again in the oven. So I would say that for me is about perfect. So if you get a pot for it to go in, anything that can fit it in nicely. And then all we need to do is make a lovely crust for the top of it. So we'll do this just by layering up cheese. Again, it could be cheddar, doesn't have to be Parmesan, but once it's baked in this way, even for children, they don't really notice the difference. Like my kids aren't a huge fan of Parmesan cheese if I was to start shaving it over bolognese, but like this baked, they really enjoy it. And then just some breadcrumbs. Just use some dried bread, whatever you've got, leave it out on the side overnight, the night before, or roast, pop it in the oven and dry it out in there, and then just crumble it up with your hand or in a blender or however really. And this just helps to make a crust as well. So you can do it without bread if you're gluten free, obviously use gluten free bread. If you don't like it, just don't add it, it will still get a lovely top to it with the cheese. Another layer of breadcrumbs. And then we've got some thyme here as well. So we'll just, this is quite dry, so just with our hands, we'll just pick a few of those off. Sprinkle it on the top. Rosemary would work really well as well, but it's a lovely winter herb. These ones here are a little bit softer, so we'll just chop these up. Or if you lemon thyme, that's a really nice thyme as well. You can get that in most supermarkets. It's got a real zesty flavour to it. Another little bit of breadcrumbs, a bit of parmesan, and then we'll put some more walnuts over. So we'll leave some whole, just so you've got them nice crunchy chunks. Obviously it's on the top, so they're going to roast off, go really golden brown, and get covered in cheese. That's ready to go in the oven. So what we'll do, at this stage, you could pop it in the fridge until you need it. So you can make this the day before. You could bake it straight away. It's almost a meal on itself. It would be lovely with just some sausages or something for an alternative dinner through the week. But at this stage, we'll place it in the oven for around 20 minutes. The sprouts are basically cooked. The bacon's cooked, the cream is cooked, so it's a case of just getting a lovely golden crust on top. So 20 minutes, might take 15, might take half an hour, so just keep an eye on it, open the oven door, have a little check. You're just looking for a lovely crispy golden brown top. So I'm going to place that in and we'll take a look at it a little bit later on. So our sprouts have had about 20 minutes in the oven, so I'm just going to check on them. Lovely. Lovely and golden brown. Just be careful here, as it spits a little bit, and it can, if it lands on the skin, it will burn. So at this stage, we're just going to finish it off now with some fresh cheese and some walnuts. So just save a few back when you're making it, just to grate over the top of it. So just grating the parmesan, nice even coating, and then same with the walnuts. So that is the sprout gratin. You've got the lovely fresh cheese on top, really crispy layer underneath, and then the beautiful sprouts with the gooey cheese sauce.